All right, for Evil D, this one is for you. And this is a Linux distribution I've looked at before. As a matter of fact, I think a few months ago I looked at their Windows edition. This is Makulu Core. Now, Makulu is a little bit different from other Linux distributions that you'll see out there in the wild. This does not have the polish one of the mainstream distributions like Ubuntu, Manjaro, Fedora, or any of those. Instead, this is more or less of a distribution that is ideal for beginners and also has some tweaks which would put this in the category of a vanity distribution rather than being one of the mainstream editions. And this is the kind of distribution, if you're new to Linux, you really want to try this out because this brings some interesting stuff to the table. Now, earlier this morning, I actually installed this in my test environment, but we are looking at this in a live mode because I want you to see just how easy it is to set this up and some of the things that Makulu brings to the table. Okay? All right, so on first glance, you're going to see that you've got a little dock here. You got Plank down here at the bottom. Now, on the upper right, you're going to notice there is a panel here. Now, originally that was on the lower right portion of the screen. I moved it up here for better accessibility because, well, I'm composited on top of the screen, and I didn't want to cover it up. So this is the only thing that I've moved. And Makulu has some pretty interesting stuff here. Now, first, when you boot the live image, you're greeted with Conky on the screen, and then it's going to ask you, how do you want your border set up on your Windows? I'm just going to go with the new border full default. Okay, and then when you make your choice and then press close, another window is going to pop up and ask you what color theme do you want for this. Okay, let's choose Gravestone Gray. Okay, now, and Makulu is known for this. I mean, their distributions like to pop some questions at you. All right, so pretty much their goal is to have a setup where you can easily access your applications without having to type anything into the keyboard. And they have done that by making use of hot corners. If we move the cursor to the lower left portion of the screen, Cardapio opens up, which is a menu. All right, similar to like the likes of Whisker, but this has been around a lot longer. The only caveat with this is the menu doesn't close unless you actually select something. So let's select the donations button, for instance, and then the menu will go away. All right, and then you have another launcher on the upper left corner of the screen, and this is GNOME. Well, I'll tell you what it is. So let's go ahead and open up the menu here. We'll go into Hot Corners. Okay, and for the top left, to custom action, I'm just going to press escape, and then it'll tell you. Okay, so that's called GNOME Pi. That is running. Okay, so they have GNOME Pi, and it's basically another menu system. Kind of neat looking, impractical for my daily needs, but some of you people out there are absolutely going to adore this. So you have that option as well. Now, we've had a discussion on the forum. Some people may express that XFCE, you know, it's difficult to make it look elegant. Well, let me tell you what, kids. Makulu's done a pretty nice job of making XFCE look pretty decent, as you can see here. It does look kind of nice. I like the modern look. It does have a little bit of polish here. Come on, open up home. All right, there's your home directory. It does have a nice polished look that they put in here. Okay. All right, and then, of course, your notification area is here. If you don't like Cardapio, you can just right-click on that panel, okay, and then select, well, select any of the icons here. Panel, and then go to panel preferences, items, and then press the plus button here, and you can add whisker. Okay, maybe I want to move that. Maybe I want to move that up. We can do that too. Just take whisker here and put that top of the screen here. Close this. All right, now got the whisker menu, and I personally like this menu a lot better than Cadapio. But to each their own. At least they've included this here. All right, and a lot of the special effects that are loaded into this, they have a 3D desktop option that's included with this as well, are powered by Compiz. If we open up a terminal here, okay, and we type in CCSM for the Compiz Settings Manager, all right, you're going to see that there are a bunch of filters and effects included in here. This is because Debian has picked up the Compiz Reloaded set that you've seen an entire series on my channel for. So you can actually follow my Compiz Reloaded series. It'll show you all the really cool things that you can do with this. Debian has picked up Compiz Reloaded that Soro and Shadow Kyoga and the rest of the team have taken the 08 series of Compiz and modernized it. Sort of turning the 09 series into 09 series of Compiz into abandonware. Who knows? But at any rate, this is using the 08 series, because if we go Compiz and ask what version it is, it's running 08.16, and Compiz Reloaded started at 08.12. So that's interesting. So if you want to use the 3D desktop effects and that sort of thing with this, you have that option available. Personally, I would have liked to have seen maybe a little note on the desktop or some level of documentation at first glance that lets you know what the keyboard commands for it are, or what kind of mouse gestures or shortcuts that they've thrown in for it. Not a deal breaker, definitely, but it's there, included in here. All right, let's have a look at their installer. Okay, and the first thing it's going to ask you is, what do you want to install? What are you mainly going to use this computer for? And of course, for me, I chose bare bones because I may not particularly like all of the applications that come preloaded with most Linux distros, and many of you know this. So I would opt for bare bone, press continue, okay, and then it's saying it won't download any additional packages, and at the next screen, if asked for a password, use Makulu. Okay, you got to press close on the window, and then it will ask for that. Let me cancel this because I want to show you what other options that are available here. Okay, if you're going to be using this as a home computer for the family, you have those options. An office environment, if you're going to make this a movie or streaming media center, graphic or model designer, movie studio, if you're going to have this as a gaming box or you're a developer of sorts, you have these options. And personally, I would really love to know what kind of software it's selecting when you choose one of these. So if you just want just the data that ships with a live image, go with the bare bones installation. So we're going to press continue. All right, and then Makulu is the password. All right, and then their installer will come up. All right, and this is using Calamari, which has become very, very popular. So it's an easy-to-use installer. All right, we're in a virtual environment here, so we're just going to erase the entire disk and install this. What is your computer's name? DHunt. Pick a complicated password. Okay, it wants to log in automatically without asking the password and use the same password for the administrator account. Of course, you can change that. All right, and then once you have set your preferences, this will go ahead and install. And I'm installing this on an SSD drive, so when the system reboots, this thing will fly. It'll go really fast. Um, let's have a look and see what you get with this in terms of software for bare bones. On a number of accessories come included with this distribution. So you have an antivirus scanner. You have NumPy, which I showed you earlier, which has that really neat little menu system. Personally, not my cup of tea, but some of you will absolutely adore that. All right. You also have a variety wallpaper changer. And you're going to see a bunch of really, really cool looking wallpapers appear in the thumbnail gallery on top of the screen. Guess what, kids? I'm nicking every single one of these wallpapers off of this live disc. They all look awesome. I would actually use these. The only thing I don't like about this wallpaper changer is it automatically changes wallpaper, and there may be a way here to prevent this from switching, but I don't see it here. Okay. But if I do want to close this, you need to right click and then select close. Position, you can position it. You can choose show the containing folder for all the images. All right, but no method for telling this not to change the wallpapers. I really hate that when they do that. You know, when they change the wallpaper on you and you've got a theme that you really enjoy. Yeah, that kind of bugs me. All right, so we'll right click and then close this. So you have a ton of really cool looking wallpapers. I love them. They did some really nice choices. Okay, so now this is all installed and ready to go. So why don't I go ahead and restart the virtual appliance, and then we'll take a closer look at some other things. Okay, here we are on that fresh installation, and Conky's telling me here that this is using 611 megabytes of RAM. Not too shabby. All right, and this is using the stable XFCE desktop. As a matter of fact, we go into panel preferences and go into about. You're going to see that it's using a 4.12, where we are on 4.13 on Manjaro. So this is using this stable XFCE build. All right, and basically it's just saying that they're using a dock-based environment, and then the side panel for your notifications and that sort of thing, your system tray and that sort. Okay, and then of course I indicated that you had the Cardapio on the lower left. If there is a way to get Whisker Menu in there, I think that'd probably be a better option. I'd go with that. And then on the upper left, you get this little no menu thingy. Okay, I guess I better pick something because that menu won't close unless I pick something off of it. Okay, pretty much the web browser is Opera, and they have a bunch of plugins already installed on there. And of course, if you don't want those plugins, you're going to have to manually uninstall them yourself, or you could just delete the configuration that it puts in the home directory, and that'll get rid of them quicker. Okay, let me think. What else is there that I wanted to cover on this? I covered the wallpaper changers. I covered. There's a lot of really cool features in this. I know I'm going to miss something. Okay, so it's asking me what configuration I want for this. That's right, I got to close the windows after each question. Okay, and then since I put up the Whisker menu, do you want to turn on the Web Applets panel? Okay. Oh, okay. So you've got all these Web Applets too, which I don't use any of them. Ah, well, I kind of regret doing that now, don't I? Dock preferences. Oh, this is using Avant Window Navigator. Okay, well then, if I don't want to run it, I can just kill the AWN. So they've got AWN up here, and this is Plank down there. Like I said, a lot of software choices thrown in here. Okay, so on the bare bones, just an image viewer is included with this. I mentioned there's a number of accessories in here. Opera and a newsreader is included. You get VLC and simple screen recorder and the Pavu control. Orange calendar and Orange global time. So in other words, if you wanted that office suite, you would have picked that you were using this for a home office. You use one of those options. They have a bunch of choices though in the software center, and let's go ahead and go into settings and let's have a look at how they've done things here. So you have the option to turn Compiz on or off from right here. If you want to, I'm not going to display Compiz. I've got so many videos on Compiz. Check out my Compiz videos on the channel. All right, configure your hot corners. You can configure your dock manager. So they've added a lot of customizations into the settings menu for XFCE here. So you can pretty much manage everything. They've even got some dark themes on here. So if you're a dark theme lover like me, they've got some in here. This one looks kind of similar to one of my MCOL themes, or at least the color scheme does. So yeah, that's kind of nice. Good stuff indeed. So, newbies, download this. Try it. I highly recommend that if you are new to Linux, this would be well worth your time to check out. But for a seasoned user who's been around a while, they're probably going to skip over something like this because they don't really want all these fancy little widgets and programs open up and that sort of thing. You know, you get some hard-headed jerk like me, who, you know, I basically have all of my stuff on just one panel, and my whisker menu is set up just how I want it. You know, some people have different ways of doing things. Some people are going to absolutely adore this setup. And so I was pleased to present that to you guys. So if you're looking for a really good vanity distribution that has a nice spread of goodies to slap on your PC, hit the link in the description, download this, and try it out for yourself. That is all I have on Makulu Core. They have two other versions. They also have one called Flash, which I've never seen yet. I'm sure eventually I will. And then, of course, I spoke about their Windows edition a few months back, which basically looks like Windows 10. Great for those transitioning over from Windows and that sort of thing. So they do have some different flavors. That Makulu's been around for a few years now. And they're probably one of the most improved Linux distributions that I've seen, because I do recall that I really didn't care for them so much in the beginning, but they have gotten a lot better. So good job to the Makulu team for making some really good improvements there. All right. No more Mr. Nice Guy on Cup of Linux. This will probably be my last beginner-friendly video that I'm going to be doing for a little while. Wow, I take that back. Actually, coming up on Cup of Linux, I am starting a brand new series. I know a number of you have been waiting for me to do that. And I am going to give you all a crash course on the command line. It is command line friendly coming up next on Cup of Linux. And maybe tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, I'll get that series starting to roll out. And then it's all going to be command line stuff. But hey, we're still going to have fun with it, right? So until next time, take a little bit of your time and be excellent with somebody today. Peace out.